This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to Isha Training Solutions. So we will wait for 2 more minutes, guys, for other learners to join, and then we'll start our actual discussion. So 2 minutes we'll wait. We'll wait for other learners to join, and then we'll start our discussion, guys. Thanks for joining. We'll wait for 2 more minutes. Okay. Thank you. Once again, welcome everyone. Welcome to Isha Training Solutions. Hope my voice is audible for everyone, and my screen is also visible for everyone. So in yesterday's session, we basically discussed about the course content level. Today, day one session we are going to start, and as I mentioned yesterday, also I mentioned the same. Yes, our core objective is to learn JMeter tool, but before learning the JMeter tool, I wanted to set the context. Any new requirement that is actually coming, how you are going to approach it, how you are going to take the requirement, convert it into script, and then how you are going to do the execution, and how you are going to read, understand that report, and you are going to provide your findings and recommendation to the customer. That is what the entire objective of this learning. So as I told you, this course is actually designed for freshers who is actually selecting their career as a performance testing, or already manual testing they are doing and they wanted to move from manual testing to performance testing, or there are people they are already doing performance testing with a different other tool and they wanted to move to Apache JMeter. So in that way only this course content is actually designed. So with that understanding, I'll quickly start our first topic. What is performance testing? Okay, what is performance testing? Okay, so before even going to that level, I will go a little back and then I'll come to this point. Okay, so performance testing. Okay, so any customer, when they are giving the requirement, the first activity what people are doing, they are doing development. They are doing development activity. That is actually done in the SDLC model, right? Software development life cycle. Software development life cycle. That is what the developers they are doing, right? A new piece of requirement they are getting, and they are doing the development activity. They are doing the development activity. Okay, so that development activity, maybe if we are going little before to that also, maybe I don't know, many they do not have the process how it is actually happening. Basically what happens is that customer will float the requirement. They'll float the requirement as a proposal document. Okay, they call that as what? RFP. Okay, request for proposal document. Okay, request for proposal document. So based on the RFP, the industry leading service companies, what they will do, they will submit their solution and customer will invite them for customer presentation. Based on the customer presentation that we are doing, they will award the project to the respective service company. That is what the process usually happens, irrespective of anything. It may be a development project, or it may be a testing project, or it may be a maintenance project, whatever. This is a procedure. This is a procedure regularly customers are doing like that. Okay, when you are getting the requirement, okay, when you are getting the requirement, what we will do, we will do the development. Example, we got the development project. As such, we got the development project means what we will do, we'll get the requirement and we'll do the development. We'll do the development. Okay, once developer when they did the development activity, what developers will do, anybody can say what developers will do once they develop the module of code or chunk of code, whatever they develop, what they will do, anybody can say?
They will do unit testing.
They'll do unit testing. Very good. So they'll do unit testing. Okay, they'll do unit testing. Okay, first what they will do, they will do unit testing. Okay, that module, whatever, example, Magesh developed one chunk of code, or Thiru developed one chunk of code, or Priya developed one chunk of code, means each and every one they will do their own module testing. Their own module testing that they will do. Uh, Sorry guys, yeah, their own module they will do, that is a, those who are not talking, please go on mute guys, sorry.
Not on the phone, okay?
Sorry, yeah. So first they will do a unit testing. Okay, so once they did the unit testing, they are convinced, okay, all my developed code is actually working. That time only they are going to do what, integration testing. Integration testing, in certain organization they are calling that as integration testing. In certain organization they are calling that as integration system testing, or in certain organization they are calling that as system testing. So it's all only the naming convention. What they will do, they will integrate. We got a message, kindly record the session. It is already recorded, it is recording now. So they'll integrate those piece of unit level code and then they'll put it in the system environment, system integration environment. SIT testers will do the testing. SIT testers will do the testing. What? This integrated code. Okay. When the SIT tester, when they are completing that activity, okay, initial cosmetic related or critical bug, showstopper bug, all those defects, when they are fixing it, the system testers, they are moving that to where, they are moving to the UAT testing. UAT testing, what is that? User acceptance testing. User acceptance testing. Okay, which means that what, somebody from the client end, somebody from the customer end, somebody from the customer end, they'll come, they'll validate whatever the requirement that they gave, it is actually converted into application or what, like that they will check it. That is actually called as user acceptance testing. Okay, actually saying is, when the code is actually reaching to the user acceptance tester, almost the application should be stable, mostly, because they are coming from the client end, right, customer end, right, so mostly application would be stable. So that point of time only, most of the organization, that point of time, in parallel to that, in parallel to the user acceptance testing only, people are doing a testing called what, performance testing. Performance testing. Why they are doing that point of time? Because the application should be stable. The application should be stable. Okay, and if the application is stable only, we can quickly complete the performance testing. If your application is not stable, then you are keep on modifying your script, it is not working, modify the script, it is not working. That is a real headache. So that is the reason, most of the time, when the performance testers they are coming into the picture, that application should be stable, so that you are avoiding most of the rework, most of the rework. But there is a disclaimer, I wanted to put it here. most of the organization, if they have the proper process only, they will follow this correctly. But in certain organization, if they do not have any process, they do random performance testing, randomly they'll do scripting. Whenever the code is available, they do scripting. Like that, they follow different procedures. But by normal, by standard, this is a procedure. This is how people are doing the testing, guys. But this is how doing the testing. So exactly in the phase of user acceptance testing only, most of the organization do they do performance testing. Actually, after this, very simple, straight away the production deployment will happen. Production deployment will happen. Developer is actually taking care of all these things, right? Because they are doing the unit testing, they are giving the code to the system tester, they are giving the code to the user acceptance tester, they are giving the code to the performance tester. Like that, they are responsible for everything. For developers, they are responsible for everything. Okay. In that also, I mean, I told you, right, the testing and all, I told you, right? In that also, there is a categorization. What is that categorization? There are two type of testing people are majorly saying. One is functional testing, another one is non-functional testing. Functional testing, non-functional testing. Okay, so from the name itself, it is clearly evident. Functional testing means what? Functionality of the application, you are going to validate it. Login is working or what, text box is working or what, drop down is working or what, submit is actually working or what, clicking is actually working or what. Like that, functionally you are checking the application validation. That is what functional performance testing. Apart from the functional validation, there are non-functional attributes are there. There are non-functional attributes are there. That is actually covered under non-functional testing. That is actually covered under non-functional testing. Actually, this functional testing, people are doing it with the manual testing. Manual testing, certain times people are, sorry, manual. So manual testing, certain time people are using what? Automation tool also. Automation tool like selenium, uft, like that they are using, and they are still checking the functionality of the application. I heard yesterday somebody mentioned manual testing, right? Yes, they are coming under this category. I mean, they are validating the application functionality is actually working fine or what, application is stable or what with respect to the functionality. That is the functional testing. Other than that, automation, right? Automation testing. Okay. So other than that, this non-functional testings that are there, right? That people are calling it like, I'll say usability testing, accessibility testing, compatibility testing, security testing, performance testing. So now you guys will definitely get the answer. Performance testing comes under where? Performance testing is comes under non-functional testing. Non-functional testing, because we are not focusing on the functional part of the application, we are covering the non-functional part of the application. Okay. uh, Anybody heard about usability testing before? Usability testing, and anybody can try, like, what is usability testing? Anybody heard about that before?
Yes, yes. My previous company, the customer used to come and the group of people, external users used to come and do the testing. So generally,
Yes.
we, as a functional tester, we never involve into that. It's more like end user functionality. They used to give
Yeah.
suggestions on, and they used to give the feedback on how um, the functionality of the application look like. It's more
Okay.
like that.
Very good. Very good. Any other try for the definition? See, basically, from the name itself, we can say how usable your application, how user friendly your application. There are functionalities, whether you are doing it in a simple way or you are trying to maintain a complex flow. So that you are checking it in the usability testing. Okay, how usable your application. Okay, how many example, whether you are doing a single navigation or multiple navigation, or the flow itself is actually complex or simple. It's actually without even having any procedure process document that you are able to work with this application in a simple way. So those are the things that are covered in the usability testing. Usability testing. The next one is actually the accessibility testing. So accessibility testing is nothing but, say, like, someone is actually having I mean, eyesight problem or hearing problem. For those people, is there any provision that is actually available in the application or what? You have a visual problem or hearing problem, but is there a provision that is actually available in the application or what? Even I don't know how many of them observed this in your laptop exactly in the J button. There will be some projection in J button. In your laptop, in the J button, there is a projection. Why? Because those who are having the visual problem, they can simply touch it, sense it. They have to understand that is a J key. Okay, so this is just an example. Like this, your application is actually having the provision to manage these people also, the challenged people also. So that is what is actually the accessibility testing. Third one is compatibility testing. Everybody knows what is compatibility testing. Any definitions, guys? Compatibility testing.
Like how it works in the different environments, like how it should work. For example, if you take a Facebook application, how it works in Chrome, Internet Explorer, like that way we have to do compatibility testing, right?
That is also, they'll also check in different version of the browser. Okay, different version of the browser, different device, different device version, I mean, the operating system version. So those are something comes under compatibility. Say, like a typical example, you are releasing one mobile app, but that mobile app only works in one version of the Android or one version of the iOS. Then there is a problem, because every end users will not have latest mobile. So in that case, you should have the backward compatibility testing and all should be done. So you are making sure your application is actually working in different browser, different device, different operating system. Those are the things you are going to validate. So that is actually the compatibility testing. Finally, I mean, fourth one is actually security. So obviously, your application is actually how secure your application. Is there any DDoS attack that is actually happening or what? How your dash is dashed? All those testing they will do. So static testing, dynamic testing, all those things they'll do, and they'll make sure your application is actually safe and secure, and nobody can hack your system or something like that. They'll do the security testing. And finally, our objective of learning is actually the performance testing. Under that only we are going to use the JMeter. So performance testing. Okay, anyone can say what is performance testing?
It is all about
Check
to
the
One at a time, guys, please. Sakshi, you can go.
okay. So it is all about that to check the performance of the application in different ways. That, for example, if multiple users are accessing the application, so how the application is behaving, what is the performance? Are the pages are loading properly? So also it contains different other testing like load testing, stress testing. We just check the level of the application, that at what stage our application can be broken, can be break, or in other way we also like focus on the configuration things as well.
Okay, very good. Actually, expected a 2 mark answer, got the 16 mark answer. Very good. Uh, uh, so actually, performance testing is nothing but checking the stability of the application under various workload conditions. Okay, that is a simple way to explain. So checking the stability of the application under various workload condition. Okay, performance testing means. Okay, so because we wanted to see how our application is actually behaving, how stable our application is if you are keep on changing the workload condition. Okay, that is the performance testing. Actually saying yes, three testing I mean, the manual testing, automation testing, and then performance testing. This three testing is actually very good market now. But even then, I feel I started my career as a manual tester and then moved to automation tester, and then I become like a performance tester, performance engineer. So I know all the layers. So that is the reason I'm saying the visibility of performance tester is little high. Maybe in a layman term, if I say we do small work but appreciation will be huge, because you can easily quantify the work that you are doing, the amount of benefit that you are getting because of your testing. So that is the reason the visibility is very very high. So performance testing is nothing but testing the application under various workload conditions. Okay, testing the application stability of the application under various workload conditions. So till now what we did, I just set the context. If somebody is asking where this actual journey is actually started, customer is actually giving the proposal document, submission of proposal document. Once you are getting the deal, you are going to do what, whether it is a project given as a development project, or project given as a testing project, or project given as a maintenance project. Based on that, your activity is actually starting. In that, what are all the activity that you are doing? In that, the sub activity is actually performance testing. The sub activity is performance testing. Till now, any question, guys? Till now? Yeah, I hope we are clear. With the silence, I'm getting that understanding. So so the next one is type of testing, performance testing. So I told you performance testing is one such type under the non-functional testing. For performance testing, what are all the types that are there? Okay, this section please understand clearly, because during interview definitely people will check what are all the test types that you have experience, and what are all the test types you did it, and how you did it, and what is your experience. So that is how people will check basically. So this particular session we will see it in a detailed way. So the first type is actually load test. Load test. So anybody can say what is load test?
Like
Sarvam,
we have to check. Uh,
Please, one at a
test,
time.
yeah,
Phanindra,
test,
okay.
test the application under a constant load and understand the behavior of the application, like response time, throughput. Then, if you are going to get any deviation, then the application is to be tuned.
Okay, very good. Phanindra, you wanted to go ahead again?
in that similar way, that my definition is also a
Okay, very good then. So testing the application, testing the application with the expected user load. Okay, please understand this word is important. Testing the application with the expected user load. What is expected in production? I mean, once you are deploying this application into the production, how much of load that you are expecting, that expected load you are doing the testing. That is actually called as load testing. So then straight away the interviewer will try to see your strength, your depth knowledge. They will check it. How they will ask? This expected user load you are saying, right? You are saying expected user load. Okay. So in that case, if it is a new application, what will you do? If it is a new application, what will you do? If it is an existing application, what will you do? This question straight away they will ask. Okay, if it is a new application, what will you do? If it is an existing application, what will you do? Because you are going to test the application with the expected user load. Expected user load. Okay. So for new application, what will you do? For existing application, what will you do? So for new application, for existing application. Okay, for existing application, you are going to do the production log analysis. Production log analysis. You are going to do the production log analysis, because that code is already there in the production, and your production server is right now monitored by any monitoring tool. Through the tool, you can use this production log analysis. Actually, there are readily available tools also available, like Google Analytics, Google Analytics, Adobe Analytics, Google Analytics, Adobe Analytics, even you can use Dynatrace, even you can use AppDynamics, even you can use uh, um, AWS Stats, even you can use Log Viewer. So I mean, if you ask me, I'll tell a lot of tools, but I'm just saying these list. So existing application means what? That application is already there in the production. So that application is very easy for you, because you are going to straight away analyze your log, and you are going to come to the conclusion right now how many concurrent users or how many total users that are used by the application, how many users they are using the application. You can usually get that number, and based on that you are going to simulate the load. That is easy. But in the case of new application, what will you do? Because you that is a new application, they did not deploy into the production, and you don't have any clarity how many people they will use this application. In that case, what we will do? So so we will have a call with the stakeholder, business analyst, somebody from the customer team. We all will gather, and we will come to the conclusion. We will do assumption. We will do assumption. This is the exact keyword. So we will do assumption of certain things: concurrent user, throughput, all these things. We will do the assumption, and based on the assumptions, you are going to do the load test. In the case of what? New application. Your stakeholder, your business analyst, or your somebody from the customer team, what they will say: yes, I'm expecting so and so user, they will come and use our application. So for that, we have to be prepared. For that load, you have to do the load testing. That is how they will conclude. They will do the assumption. They will do the assumption. For that assumption, you are going to do the load testing. Okay, so if it is a new application, this is how you are going to do. For the existing application, this is how you are going to do. So the load testing means what? Testing the application with the expected user load. So load condition is what? I mean, load condition is nothing but concurrent user. Okay, concurrent user is a X user, because you are going to decide. You are going to decide X users. You are going to do the load test. Duration, mostly all the time it is actually 1 hour. Very rarely people are doing 2 hours also. Okay, most of the time it is actually 1 hour only, but very rarely people are doing 2 hours also. Okay, based on the customer request. Okay, so load testing means what? Testing the application with the expected user load. What is a concurrent user? That expected user load, that is a X. Okay, and then duration is what? 1 hour. Why, guys, why I am saying all these details? Because during the interview, people will try to check what you did, whether you have knowledge, or you simply watched any youtube video and then you came for the interview, or what. They can easily find it, provided when you are talking in the process wise, the procedure that you followed, and the industry standard, all those things. If you are talking only, they will easily understand that you have experience in this level. Okay, so suppose production was not happened, then how could we get the user data? That is the option one. Option one, production, it is not available, means you are going to do assumption. You are going to do the assumption, and you are going to say, for so and so concurrent user, or for so and so throughput, I am going to do the load testing. That is what you are going to do. Okay, Ajit?
I'm okay.
Yeah, sure. So load test, actually now in industry, 90 percentage, even more than 90 percentage of the people, they are only doing load test. They are only doing load test. So I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just saying the fact in the industry right now, because we don't have time. The release milestone, the sprint cycle itself, 2 weeks, 3 weeks time only. So in that case, obviously, developers has to do development, system tester has to do system testing, UAT tester has to do UAT testing. All those factors are there actually. So in that time period, maybe we will be getting probably 3 to 5 days, or little above 5 days only. You are going to get it, right? So in that case, you cannot do lot of testing and all. So that is the reason many are actually only doing load testing nowadays. They are only doing load testing, they are not doing any other testing, but actually saying you need to do different type of testing to make sure your application is actually stable. Okay, so load testing many organization they are doing, but in my opinion you try to do as much as possible test to uncover, or you can explore a lot of critical performance issues. Okay, so the next type of test is stress test. Anybody can say what is stress test?
To find the breaking point.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, to uh, to check the breaking point of the application. To check the breaking point of the application. This breaking point is a keyword in this definition. Breaking point. But as such, actually saying by definition you need to check the breaking point. What you will do, you will increase the load, keep on increasing the load. At one point of time your application will crash. That point is actually the breaking point, and before to that level is a stable level. That is the actual theoretical understanding. But nowadays what is actually happening, nobody is actually expecting you to crash the system. Even nobody is actually liking to do that. So in that case what they are doing, actually saying, if customer is okay, they are saying yes you need to do that, means no other go, you need to run multiple round of test and finally you need to check the breaking point. That is one thing, that is different scenario. But if customer is saying no, I don't want to do crashing of the system and all, I just wanted to check the safe point only. So in that case nowadays what they are doing, the concurrent user, what they are doing, they are using x user, 2x user, 3x user. Till that level they are stopping. Till that level, if your application is working, they are stopping, they are making sure okay 3x level it is actually there, right? So we can stop the testing. So that way people are stopping it, and duration is obviously 1 hour. Duration is 1 hour. This is how people are doing it in general about stress testing. Stress testing means by definition to check the breaking point of the application, and the concurrent user what they are doing, x, 2x, 3x they are checking. Duration obviously each test they are testing with 1 hour. Okay, that is a stress testing. Okay, and then the third one is endurance testing. Endurance test or soak test. So this also there is a trouble with certain people. If they are asking soak test, they will not know. They only know endurance testing. Actually, other name for the endurance testing is actually soak testing. So anybody can say what is endurance or soak testing?
So it could be a type of performance testing to check the system performance under several load conditions over an extended hours or longer amount of time.
Very good. Yeah, testing the testing
But
the
we
application.
are still confused why they call it as soak testing, because in some companies soak testing will be different from the endurance.
But industry standard they are using these two name common. Vinay. Maybe
Okay.
see organization to organization they maintain their own name. Even in certain organization the resiliency testing is actually called as high availability testing or
Uh-huh.
failover testing, like that they interchange the name. Okay, that is
Okay.
organization to organization, but we'll go with the general definition itself. Okay.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Testing the application for a longer period of time to check the memory leak. This is the keyword, to check the memory leak. Testing the application for a longer period of time to check the memory leak. Okay, so actually what happened traditionally, I mean some 10 years before and all, people used to test for 24 hours, 48 hours, like that. They wanted to see your application is actually how long it is actually running. but nowadays as I told you, right, like you don't have that much time and all. Your release time itself very short, and you don't find that much of time to run your test and all, right? So nowadays I think people are running it for what, 4 hours only. Okay, concurrent user is actually the same load testing load X user. Okay, duration they are running it for 4 hours. 4 hours. Okay, so in that time period they are going to monitor the memory graph, and they wanted to see your memory graph is actually showing any dipping trend or what, or you feel like there is a memory leak pattern that you are getting it or what. Okay, so that people are actually checking it. So for the endurance testing, so endurance testing is nothing but testing the application for a longer period of time to check the memory leak. Okay, so your memory graph, it is actually dipping down, or sudden spike is there or what over the period of time that you are running. So that is actually you are going to find it using the endurance testing or soak testing. Endurance testing or soak testing. Okay, next type of testing is actually the scalability testing. Scalability testing. Scalability testing. Anyone can try what is scalability testing?
That is the scaling of loads for the
Okay, very
future
good.
prediction.
Yeah, yeah. So test the application with the, I mean, I'll put it like this. Test the future load with the current infrastructure. With the current infrastructure. Okay, so which means that what? Maybe my application is actually right now we are having 1,000 users, but I'm expecting next year 2,000 users will use my application. Means I have a current infrastructure, right? There is a, RAM, CPU, memory that are there, right? With the current infrastructure, whether I'm able to manage that 2,000 user load or what, that future load you are testing it in the current infrastructure. The future load that you are testing it in the current infrastructure. Okay, so which means that the concurrent user is actually the future load. Okay, and then duration is obviously 1 hour. Duration is obviously 1 hour. Okay, so this is like scalability testing. Scalability testing. Okay, and then volume testing. Okay, volume testing. What is volume testing? Testing the
With high load.
scenarios which are having heavy interaction with
Data.
database. Heavy interaction with the database. Okay, more of insert, update, delete, that you are trying to do it in the database. I mean the scenarios where you have more of interaction with the database, that is actually called as volume test. Okay, concurrent user is again a X user only. Okay, concurrent user is actually X user only. Duration is also uh, one duration is also 1 hour only. But only thing is you need to identify the scenarios which are having more interaction with the database. Scenarios that are having more interaction with the database. Okay, so even in certain organization they are doing one more thing called peak load test. Okay, peak load test. Okay, test the application with a peak load condition. Test the application with the peak load condition. What is this peak load condition? Peak load condition means what? So maybe I'll check my weekly pattern or monthly pattern of my application, and I'm going to find at what time I'm getting the peak load. Maybe Monday I'm getting or what, or Friday I'm getting or what, or even in certain organization they call this peak load test as seasonal volume test or holiday test, like that they are calling. But end of the day, what is your objective? say like Flipkart is actually doing big billion day offer, means for that day last year how much of user came, and you are expecting probably a 10 percentage increase from the last year load, means that is actually the peak load condition. Peak load condition. Okay, you are testing the application with a peak load condition. Okay, so that is also in certain organization they are doing this type of test also. Certain organization they are doing. Obviously it is a peak load, and your duration is actually 1 hour. Duration is actually 1 hour. Okay. So, and yeah, these are the majorly covered testing types. Maybe in certain organization they'll do resiliency, high availability, failover test. I mean, purposefully making one server down, whether your load is actually going to the other server or what. All those things also people will do, but predominantly load, peak load, stress, endurance, scalability, volume. These are the type of testing people are doing. That too, load test only mainly many are doing, and in certain organization they'll do endurance and scalability also. I'll take a pause here, guys. Any question till now?
And Sarvan,
Okay,
as you
exactly
said,
what is
Please, one at a time, guys.
okay? Can I
Yeah,
go?
Fanindra, you go. Fanindra, you go.
Like,
Please.
what is exactly concurrent user in this scenario?
Yeah, good question. So actually saying, um, example, morning 9 o'clock, certain people they are entering into the office. Okay, okay, but in that office, if you see by 12 o'clock how many people are there, means okay, that is a concurrent user that are in the office premises. That is a concurrent user. Okay, but somebody can come in, somebody can go out and all. That is a total user. Okay, don't get confused. Total user is different. Concurrent user, at the moment how many of them are there in the system, that is actually the concurrent user. Okay, so even you think from the application perspective, there are people. Example, Facebook will have 1 crore people as a total user. 1 crore people, but concurrently right now how many are using, that is a concurrent user. How many are right now using is actually concurrent user. There may be a total user who sign up into the Facebook, but they are not actively using it. That is a total user. Okay, so sometimes people will ask this as an interview question also. I mean, what is concurrent user, what is parallel user? Okay, concurrent user and parallel user. Parallel user means there are set of people, they are doing the same activity parallelly. They are doing the same activity parallelly. That is actually the parallel user. But concurrent user, they are doing something in the application, but they are doing different activity concurrently. Okay, they may, somebody there will be there in the login page, somebody will be there in the logout page, somebody will be there in the search page, payment page, but concurrently they are in the system. Okay, but parallel users are not like that. Parallel user, everybody should log in, everybody should be in the search page, everybody should be there in the payment page, everybody should be there in the logout page. That is parallel user. If somebody is asking in the interview what is parallel user or what is concurrent user, the number of user that are right at the moment, how many people are there, that is actually the concurrent user. Okay, and concurrent user may be doing different activity at the point of time, but parallel user, they will do the same activity across the place. Hotstar cricket match, concurrently user watching, we see how many. Yeah, concurrent user means how many are currently watching. Yeah, correct. That is correct only, Vinay. But total user base of Hotstar would be different. Those who are not watching cricket also will be a total user. Okay, so
Sarvan, one question is that, as you said that you are just going to collect those logs by using the different tools. In that case, how many days data you are going to collect to get the scenario list?
see, actually saying that is about what activity that you are going to do is important. Okay, so if you I mean, if you see the analytical tools all the way, the dashboards will be available. Okay, that is one thing. But if you are talking about you are extracting the log file, you need to do probably a year of data, and then you need to bring to the pattern. I mean, weekly monthly pattern, and then you need to digest that information. But that's a little complex thing, but if you are doing only, you can drill down to that level. Okay.
Okay, if I'm going to say that if I'm going to collect for the last 7 days or 15 days data, could I
that
get
may
that
be
result
that may
properly?
be giving you a deviation, right? That may be giving you a
Mm-hmm.
deviation. So see, it is like a normal machine learning algorithm, right? How much ever shorter sample that you are giving, the deviation will be high. Okay, how much ever lot of sample data that you are having, your concrete information you are going to get it. You are able to understand, right? It doesn't mean that last 1 week nobody comes to your application is actually not utilized, right? Maybe last week nobody came, but previous week many would have come, right? So that is the reason I told you your sample space should be little higher so that you can take a concrete decision. Clear?
Okay. Okay. And Sarwan, some out of the box, I'm just asking a one question to you. But you have already provided different tests to be here. In that case, suppose you are not going to get something like your SLA and you are doing a baseline. Okay. And you suppose your requirement is equal to 200 users. In that case, can you make it to be by 20% of load? And can you make it to be a baseline for that? Is it the right approach?
See, actually, I mean, it is also kind of organization to organization people are doing, and certain organization they are going with the 10 percentage. Certain organization they are going with 20 percentage like that. It's all by your architects and then your stakeholder decision making. But as you mentioned, it is somewhere between 10 to 20 is actually a good number to do the
Okay.
baseline. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So we got a question. Can you tell me future testing in current scenario means? Is it estimating number of users that are going to use? See, that's what that is a estimated number. Correct. You are correct. Estimated number, estimated concurrent user or estimated throughput that you are expecting in the future. That is like you are estimating and you are testing it with the current infrastructure, making sure you are I mean you are able to manage that load in the current infrastructure itself. Okay, Sunny?
I have one question. If, for example, if number of users are watching, and that time, if some users or if it is they minimized, they will consider as a concurrent user.
See, that is actually saying, realistically speaking, your session is still alive. Okay, your session is still alive. But in there are tools that I mentioned, right? Like this Google Analytics or Adobe Analytics. Each
Okay.
tool they are using different methodologies to consider this as a session. Okay, there
Okay.
are people will say that that session is actually still alive. There are people will say the session is actually closed, terminated, kind of thing. So it's about the analytical tool that you are using. But I would say, in my experience, I would say that session is still alive as long as you are closing the browser.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So guys, those who wanted to enroll for this course journey, this is Kumar sir number 8019952427 is number. I'll I'll put it in the group. Please reach out to Kumar sir for any further information. I'll also copy paste the course content in the chat. Okay. So this is actually a weekday session, Indian time 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. We are going to have the session. Correspondingly, in other location, corresponding timelines are actually mentioned in the website itself. You can go through. This is a corresponding timeline in other US, UK locations. So Indian time is actually 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. We are going to have it, and basically 30 plus hours of session we are going to have it. 30 plus hours of session in which we are going to complete it, and weekdays only, Monday to Friday only, we are going to have the session. Saturday, Sunday holiday, and all the sessions we are recording. This session is also recorded right now. You will get that recorded video tomorrow morning. So all the sessions are actually recorded, and we will be sharing through YouTube playlist URL. And any day you are unable to attend or you are missing any session, not a problem. These videos you are going to have it for lifetime access. Any number of time you can watch it, and then you can bring your question. Next day we can discuss whatever the questions that we are having, and all artifacts, supporting documents and everything we are going to share it through Google Drive. so that you can download and then you can make use of it. Okay, so industry best practices, interview questions, okay, all the things we are I mean, as you see now itself, we would have discussed lot of questions, lot of terms and terminologies. If you are talking in a way how you can easily crack the interview, like that only our usual flow will be there. So that's actually a value add also. So we are going to continue the same in the upcoming sessions as well. So those who wanted to enroll yourself for the continuous learning, please reach out to Kumar sir for further information. 8019952427 is number. Already we started the session, but today also it is a evaluation day. So those who wanted to enroll for this course journey, please reach out to Kumar sir. Yeah, Fanindra, you can go ahead with your question.
So what about the assessments? And like you have to give any assessments or anything? Like listening is also very like practicing and any assessments
Yeah,
are going on for this
that will be there.
job.
That will be there. That is the I'm doing an activity, right? The expectation is that you are going to do that in your machine, and whatever the challenges that you are facing, you are going to bring it on. And while you are doing only, there may be a different error, or there may be a different options that you are exploring, right? That we are going to discuss in the next day of session, Panindra. That is how it is going to happen. Okay. Yeah, Sirish, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, hi Shravan. Actually, I just want to know like what all tools we are using to achieve this. We are we will going to use a simple HTTP recording or Blazemeter or kind of tool we are using in this.
Blazemeter we are going to use, DevTools we are going to use, and we are going to use I mean JMeter core capability, Blazemeter capability, DevTools capability, and we are not only going to cover web application, we are also going to cover web services, REST services. All those things we are going to cover.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, guys.
I think
So
I think Sharman, I think we are not covering the DB, right? DB performance, right, in this course.
no, DB we are covering a JDBC sampler. Yes, we are covering JDBC sampler. We are covering that.
Shravan, can you please share this syllabus with us?
In the chat, it is actually pasted already, Sirish.
Chat.
You got it? Okay. So thanks for the learners who joined today for evaluating us. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. Yes, we are going to continue the same learning in the upcoming days also. So those who wanted to enroll for this course journey, please reach out to Kumar sir. 8019952427 is number. We'll regroup tomorrow, guys. Thanks for joining and have a nice day. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.